Hey guys, Dr. Sean here again. You can tell I'm in casual today because today's topic is on optimal exercise and weight loss. So today is going to be completely off the cuff. I may refer to my computer just for some notes here and there, but let's start off with defining what optimal exercise and weight loss is going to be. For me, the optimal exercise is going to require three things. Number one, it's not going to require a lot of time. I'm a busy guy, most people are, so having something that takes a lot of time is really hard to fit into a schedule and hard to stay in routine for. So the shorter the better, the easier it is for me to fit in my routine and stay in routine. Number two, it's going to be effective. And for me, I'm going to define effective as both builds muscle effectively and burns fat effectively. Weight plays a huge role in our overall health and joints. And I'm going to have a video about posture and how important that is for neurological function later, and how important our joints are for our overall health, how important having muscle is for overall health in a separate video. But that's what is effective exercise to me. Number three, something simple and easy to follow that I don't have risk of injuring myself on. I have been through a number of different exercises in my life. In fact, you might actually be looking at me and think, you know, this guy isn't in the best shape of his life for now, and I'm not. You know, I got married in March, and I've made a lot of decisions in the past few months about my diet and not staying in my exercise routine that has led me to gain some unwanted poundage. But I'm definitely not the most fit guy right now. And actually, the worst weight that I was in, if you actually go back and watch my my orientation video at CoachFamilyChiro.com, that was actually the heaviest I ever was. I was just getting out of grad school and doctorate school, which high stress environment, not a lot of good choices in terms of diet. And when I got out of school, I went on a health journey. I had the time, and I was trying to, work out, lose weight, build muscle, and all these things. And I had tried P90X. I had tried Insanity Asylum, which, if you don't know, if you've heard of Insanity but not Asylum, Asylum is the sports version of Insanity. I did Olympic lifting for a very long time, and one of those was really good for burning fat but not building muscle, and the other one was really good for building muscle but not burning fat. And honestly, both of them are really hard for me to stay in routine. One of them took like an hour every day, between a little bit more than an hour every day with stretching. The other one took even more time between warm up and cool down. And honestly, I had injured myself a number of times in Olympic lifting. It took me a lot of time to really learn how to do it effectively without injuring myself. And even then, I would still injure myself. So number three, my requirement is something that's simple, easy to follow, that most people can do, that I'm not going to worry about injuring myself. Having said that, before I get into the whole workout program, I just want to stop and say, before we get into exercise, if we want to effectively do weight loss, where we need to start is our diet. And I've included two documents you can download under this video. The first one is my wellness survey, and the second one is how to read the results of my wellness survey. In short, it comes down to this. If you have any of the conditions above, or you have a 5 or above on your score, there's a gut problem. And before you start working out, you really need to address your diet and fix your gut. I recommend checking out my Trust Your Gut program, my leaky gut video. That'll explain more about what that all means. But if you have a 5 and below, and one of those is weight issues, then check out my store. I have that tag below, and if you scroll down, you'll see two categories. I have my wellness keto and I have my weight loss keto. Now, they're two different things. There's wellness or keto, and there's weight loss or keto, but they're just different programs. Depends on what you're interested in. But those have guides, they have meals recipe, they have daily tips. They're for really helping you lose weight and getting into better health. So just doing one of those short programs can really help you get your body into the right state to get the best results from exercise. Because you can have the best exercise in the world, but if you're not taking care of yourself from a dietary perspective, you actually could be doing more harm than good. And if you're putting all this work on the exercise, but you're not getting the results, that can be really disheartening. So first and foremost, correct the diet, then come back to this video and let's talk about the optimal exercise. So what is it? In short, it's called X3. So check out the book, Weightlifting is a Waste of Time, So is Cardio. I've included a link at the bottom again that you can check out this book. Finish watching this video and then read that first, because that'll give you all the science behind it, how it works. It is missing a couple things that I will mention in this video, but ultimately, give that a read before you start doing the workout, because I'm a firm believer is if you understand something, you're going to be better at following through with it. So what weightlifting is a waste of time and so is cardio is really about is it's really talking about the ineffectiveness of distance cardio and weightlifting. Distance cardio actually increases cortisol, increases stress hormones, which actually increase fat retention. And with weightlifting, you aren't effectively lifting as heavy as you possibly can to get the most results. The book explains it like this. If you have a car that you want to go for a really long time, what do you need? You need something that's fuel efficient with a low engine, right? High fat, low muscle. That's what it is. We use fat as our high yield energy source, so we want to have a lot of fat and very little muscle so that we can go those long distances. Well, what if you want a car that you want to get somewhere really fast in a really short period of time? Well, that's something with a lot of muscle that needs very little energy. And the book does a better job explaining to it, but that's in a nutshell what it's explaining. And the reason that weightlifting isn't effective is because we are always lifting from our weakest range. What does that mean? Let me demonstrate. I'm going to use a chest press to explain. So with the chest press, where we want to start our lift is they tell you to put it right on your chest. That's where you want to start your lift. You'll actually see that this is actually pretty lax. Now, here's why weightlifting isn't effective in this situation. All the way down here, there's not a lot of muscle recruitment, and actually the joint is a very dangerous position because if you're putting a lot of weight down here, you're gonna be destroying your joints. That is why weightlifters tend to have the worst joints later in life, is because they're putting so much pressure and tension on them that's what causes so much damage. But you'll see with this variable resistance band, it starts out here, where there's more muscle recruitment and in a much more stable position joint-wise. Now with weightlifting, you don't lift as heavy as you possibly can. You're only lifting from your weakest point. Again, you have to be able to push this off your chest. So all that weight, it doesn't get any heavier the more you lift, and you have more muscle recruitment up here. So you don't exercise all the way through the lift. You only exercise it about here. That's why it takes so many sets with normal weightlifting to get an effective exercise. But with this, you only have to do one set because it's gonna get heavier the more you push it out, and you're gonna work it out until you can't lift anymore, to fatigue, to failure, whatever you wanna call it. But that one set is more effective than doing 3 sets of 10. So it's going to take less time, again, one of the most important things I was talking about, and it's going to take stress off those joints, the second thing I was talking about. So what was the last thing I was looking for? Building muscle, burning fat. That's what I'm looking for this workout. Now, how do we achieve that? Now, there are 2 hormones that are really important when it comes to building or protecting muscle and burning fat, and that is testosterone and growth hormone. I talk about testosterone release in my testosterone video. I mentioned one method of releasing testosterone. The other one I talked about in working out, and this is exactly what happens with X3. We are effectively able to get our body to release testosterone during a workout. We achieve that by lifting as heavy as we possibly can, which again, we can't get in normal weightlifting. As soon as we get past a certain zone, we're not lifting as heavy as we possibly can. So with this, we're lifting as heavy as we possibly can, effectively releasing testosterone. Growth hormone is a little bit more complicated. Growth hormone is released in high stabilization workouts, which means workouts that require us to stabilize. So that is most effectively achieved lifting as heavy as we possibly can, which again, we can't do in normal weightlifting, in high stabilization, i.e. a squat. Now, just to demonstrate how we do a squat next, there's actually 2 methods. The first one's the starter method. And they're gonna show you how to do a front squat. And that was basically it. You're basically gonna just drop down and come up. That is the low risk squat in X3. And the reason it's a low risk is because it essentially requires proper form to effectively do it. So you have a very minimal chance of injuring yourself. Again, number 3, the thing I don't want to happen. Now, the other way of doing a squat is, honestly, our bodies aren't meant to do things with 2 legs. They're meant to do it with 1. We walk, switching leg to leg. We push, we stagger our legs. And that's exactly how we're gonna do the squat. We're gonna do a front squat with 1 leg. And that's all it is. So that is your high stabilization workout that is gonna lead to growth hormone release. And that's it. That's those 3 things I'm looking for. X3 breaks it down into push day and pull day with 4 to 5 exercises on each day. So it's going to take less time, and you only have to do 1 set for each region of the body that you're working out. And again, takes pressure off the joints and is low risk for injury. And then number 3, building fat and burning muscle. Those are my 3 things for optimal exercise. Again, with X3, you have push day and pull day. So if you do that 1 push day, 1 pull day, you've effectively done everything you need to do to work out that part of the body for 1 week. If you do it 2 times a week, you've now doubled your results. You do it 3 times a week, you've tripled your results. Hence the name X3. So what are the drawbacks? First drawback is mobility. If we're building muscle 3 times faster or 2 times faster, depending on how much you're pushing it, we want to make sure we're maintaining our mobility. You want to be able to turn your head, which you see a lot of bodybuilders have trouble doing. You want to be able to have certain ranges of stretch. And so the way that you do that is you should do this before every workout. 1, you should do mobility stretching, which means turning your head, give it some lateral movement, give it some rotation in that lateral movement, Shoulders, you want to do arm circles. Hips, you want to rotate in and out with the hips. The ankles, you can do ankle circles, or you can do lean backs and lean up on your toes. So both of those things can be effective at maintaining mobility. There's a lot of things you can actually do with the shoulder too that I do recommend, but those are the basics. And then after your workout, you want to make sure you're stretching all those areas. One, that's going to make it able to more easily build muscle, but at the same time, you're going to maintain mobility. Second drawback, this doesn't include any mental exercise. The way our neurology works is we need to do exercise that requires some sort of mental thought. You're just pushing and pulling with this workout, so you don't get that. One of the best examples I give is ladder drills. You have to think about, the moves that you're doing in the ladder drill. So there's that mental thought exercise. I play competitive racquetball, and that was another big thing that I was having problems with before I found this workout. As I was doing my Olympic lifting, would tire me out. I had no energy to practice. I was sore all the time. With this workout, you actually don't get the same soreness. You're not breaking down muscle the same way you are when you're doing tons and tons of sets. Now, maybe if you just did it for the first time, you may feel some soreness after the first day, but after a few days of doing it, you're gonna notice that you just have more energy. You don't feel as weak post-workout. So it was really easy for me to do a 10-minute workout and then compete in an 8-hour tournament. And I was actually more warmed up and ready for the day when I started doing that. Common questions I get, first one is usually from women. They don't want to be muscle heads. So they worry, is that going to be something that happens if you do this workout? And in short, no. Women don't secrete testosterone in the same amounts that men do. So they aren't going to build muscle size the same way men do. If anything, it's going to tone, it's going to bring definition to everything as you're burning that fat. And guys looking to build size and muscle, is this workout going to do that? Yes and no. It will build some size, but it's going to be limited. If you want to build size, they also have a hypertrophy program, which is the next level up, which if you're trying to go for size, then you're going to do that type of program. It really brings push day and pull day and puts it in the same one, except you're only working two parts of the body. For example, deadlift and squat. Doing deadlift and then following it up with split leg squats, let me tell you, not fun, but extremely effective. And that's really how I got into the best shape of my life, was just doing the base program. And when I found it, I ran with it. I didn't injure myself. I did their 3-month base program, and I was in amazing shape. I continued doing it for the rest of the year. It was the first time I was ever really able to stay in a positive routine, and I was in the best shape of my life. And then I met my wife, and I started getting to lovey-dovey relationship mode, and it wasn't as much of a priority. I mixed and matched it there, but we got married within our first 2 years, and here I am. But I'm getting back into it now, so I'm looking forward to the next few months, and I'm hoping this knowledge helps people who are struggling with losing weight and building muscle or staying in an exercise routine. So let's just recap everything real quick. Number 1, take care of the diet. Something is better than nothing, no matter which one you choose. If you choose any of my recommendations, making sure you take care of your diet is going to be much easier for you to stay in routine. Number 2, doing something that fits into your schedule. Again, this workout can take 10 to 20 minutes. Is that easy to fit into your day? Yes, no, maybe. Is it easier than every other option out there? Absolutely. And it's easier to stay in routine when you have something so short. Number 3, building muscle and burning fat. X3 is effective at doing both. Number 4, protecting the joints. There's very little risk of injury. The only time I've ever injured myself in the X3 workout is I dropped the bar on my foot. That's it. Every other time, I've never had a problem. As long as you're maintaining proper form and following the videos, again, that's not hard to do when you watch the videos and you follow the instructions. Number 5, maintaining mobility. Again, we're building muscle very quickly, so make sure you're maintaining mobility by doing mobility exercises prior to your workout and effectively stretching after your workout. Number 6, some sort of thought exercise. Mix in some ladder drills. If there's something else you do, whether it's golf, racquetball, or whatever, make sure you're doing something that requires some mental thought while you're doing it. That's it. So before you do anything, make sure you check out the book. If you're looking for more information on supplements, again, you can check out my store. You can check out the X3 store that I put below. They have a few different supplements. Again, they talk all about it in the book, so read that first. I'm a firm believer in understanding why you do something before you do it, because it keeps you motivated, it keeps you on routine. So make sure you check out the book first. And again, you can follow the link below and order the X3 if you're looking to order the X3. Thanks for listening, guys.